welcome to Diecast Restos. I'm Jason and this is a Matchbox MB166 Ford Supervan II. It was produced between 1986 and 1992. I'm customising this as I was sent an awesome set of decals for it from Márcio from Diecast on Instagram. He offered me a choice of his decals, but I went with his recreation of the real van and those seen on the 1986 to 1988 model. Here's a photo of the real Supervan II. The Ford Supervan is a series of promotional vans based on the Ford Transit and built by Ford UK. While the body appears to resemble a modified Ford Transit van, the chassis and combustion is that of a racing car. The first Supervan was first shown to the public in 1971 at Brands Hatch. Based on the first generation Transit, a pressed steel body shell sat atop a GT40 chassis, equipped with Ford's 400 horsepower V8. It could reach a claimed 150 miles per hour. Its body had flared wheel arches to account for the wider wheels. It was painted white with Ford's blue racing livery with low horizontal stripes. The aerodynamics limited performance, however, with body lift ultimately reducing its speed on track. The Transit received a significant facelift dubbed the Mark II in 1977, so the Supervan ceased to be used by Ford for promotional purposes. Then, in 1984, this arrived, the Ford Supervan II. The Supervan II was constructed on the chassis of a Ford C100 Group C sports car. It had a Cosworth DFL engine which, during tests at Silverstone, helped the van reach 174 miles per hour. Instead of pressed steel, the Supervan II had a fibreglass body replicating the Transit. It was slightly lowered and had a telltale front air dam, large side air intakes and on most versions a high-mounted rear spoiler. Like the original Supervan, it was mid-engined. It debuted at the 1984 British Truck Racing Grand Prix at Donington Park. The livery was another Ford Motorsport design with striped decals over the rear portion of the van. Sadly, the Supervan II had a short lifespan as a promotional vehicle. The all-new second generation Ford Transit launched in 1986, which begs the question why the Supervan II launched so late in the first generation's life cycle. Even worse news is the fact that the Supervan II no longer exists. It was cannibalised into the Ford Supervan III in 1994. On this occasion, the Supervan was launched at a more appropriate time, coinciding with the 1994 second generation Transit facelift. A replica fibreglass body was again fitted, which was actually 7/8 the size of the real van. During the refurbishment, the C100 engine was replaced by a 650 horsepower Ford Cosworth HB V8 unit. The third incarnation was used in promotions by Ford up until 2001. It usually appeared in various Ford Motorsport blue and white liveries over the years, but in its final Ford endorsed appearance, it was painted red. This was to celebrate Ford's contract to supply Royal Mail's vans, so it had the full postie treatment. In 2004, the van was restored to its original livery and its engine again changed to a Ford Cosworth Pro Sports 3000 V6. It has since appeared at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Speaking of Goodwood, the most recent Supervan, the 4, was introduced there in 2022. As its full name suggests, the Ford Pro Electric Supervan is all electric. Its performance is the highest of any Ford van ever, equipped with 4 electric motors and a 50 kWh battery, producing 1,972 horsepower. It has a sub 2 second 0 to 62 miles per hour time. The chassis uses the same components as the fully electric e-Transit Custom. For 2023, the Supervan 4.2 has recently been unveiled. That is tackling the Pikes Peak hill climb on the 25th of June. This is in the future at the time of recording this voiceover. For this, the van has had some aerodynamic changes to tackle the high altitude, and it has shed 600 horsepower with the loss of one of the 4 motors. This is to improve the power to weight ratio. It will be interesting to see how it has performed. Now jumping back to the Supervan II, this Matchbox casting first launched in 1986, 2 years after the real Supervan II appeared. As I said before, the model matched the real Ford Motorsport livery between 1986 and 1988 in the Matchbox mainline. For 1987 and 1988 only, it had 2 ducts in the front air dam, but these disappeared after this point. This particular model in the Starfire livery was from the 1989 mainline. It left the main series at this point, but it had many promotional and other multi-pack liveries. It can be found in a blue Duckham's QXR livery from the Team Matchbox and Team Convoy multi-packs from 1987-88, a yellow BP livery for the Dutch market from 88, 1990 Team Convoy liveries of Fuji and Tizer, a 1990 Lasertronic Siren Force fire observer van in red with sounds and light up beacons, and a grey Danger High Explosives van from the 1992 Road Blasters series. In addition, there were plenty of plain white painted models released for custom promotional purposes. I have one of those that I display at the video end credits. I got this from my grandparents many years ago after they took a trip to Wales. But let's focus now on the work I'm doing to the model. To get to this point, I've customised it by adding in detail to the plastic grille piece, highlighting the underside of the base detail with chrome, picked out the door handles and air dam ducts with black paint, detailed the tail lights, used Citadel Gloss Nuln Oil to add depth to all of my customised parts, and started to work on the custom wheels reminiscent of those on the Supervan II and of the Ford C100 coincidentally. I'm now applying Márcio's superb decals that he kindly sent to me. They are based on the 86 to 88 casting decals, but with some great little extras such as the Ford badges and tape for the headlights. Please let Márcio know in the comments what you think of his reproduction decals. The main difference between the Matchbox decals and the real vans are that the lines join on the real thing. They are separated on the casting. I think that they look great as they are here though, and they are certainly easier to apply this way. I had some final touches to recreate the Supervan wheels with a black centre lock and a chrome rim. So these are the parts that make up the Supervan. I'm not a fan of solid colour window pieces, but they don't detract too much on the van. They take up so little surface area on it. It's not like there would be much to look at on the interior though. It was pretty threadbare, and the engine and transmission took up most of the loading bay. But with that fitted, the grille fitted, and the base being fitted, all that is left is the fitment of the 3mm M2 screw. So this is how my Matchbox Ford Supervan II looked earlier on. I wasn't a fan of this 1989 Starfire livery. I much preferred the Ford Motorsport replica from the 3 years prior. When Márcio offered me the decals, I jumped at the chance to accept his donation of them. It's a model I've been wanting to work on for some time. I took the opportunity to lightly customise the Supervan to even better replicate the now lost real thing. So here it is in Márcio's gorgeous decals. And here's a comparison top left. The biggest change I've made is to the grille, which is vastly improved with some colour. I swapped the wheels to something a little more fitting of the real Supervan. I decided to keep Citadel application to a minimum on the body, focusing on the light clusters and what would be opening parts. but I am so impressed with the decals, I absolutely love these ones. Make sure you show Márcio some love in the comment section. I will leave a link to his Instagram page in the description, where he has made several different liveried supervans among others. Do leave a like if you enjoyed it, and let me know if you like this type of real world diecast replica. Make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with all of the latest from me. Stick around for the end credits to see that Welsh supervan alongside this one, but all that leaves me to say is thanks for watching, and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.